Hello everyone, myself Dr. Amit Kumar Yadav, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, SR University, Warangal, Telangana, India. Today we explore how AI is transforming finance, but more importantly, how we make those AI decisions transparent and trustworthy. Welcome to Explainable AI in Finance. The black box problem, rise of AI in finance. Financial institutions increasingly rely on advanced AI models. These models predict credit risks, detect fraud, support trading decisions. They are powerful but often impossible to explain. Financial institute relies on advanced AI models, which include gradient boosted tree neural network. The main purpose is to power critical decisions across lending, trading, and compliance. It has a high predictive power. It means the model is excel at accuracy. It means the model has good accuracy. It outperforms simpler alternatives by wide margins. The opacity problem, their internal logic is opaque. The cost of opacity, why transparency matters. First includes, say, regulatory compliance. It is mandate for CFPB and OCC, which requires accountability and explainability in automated decisions. Stakeholder trust. Customers, auditors, and regulators must be able to understand and challenge AI driven outcomes. Ethical concern. Algorithm bias can produce discriminatory outcomes, especially in credit scoring and fraud detection. Operational risks, opaque models are harder to debug, increasing system risks over time. In another word, we can say that opacity in finance is not just inconvenient, it's risky. We need transparency for regulatory compliance, customer trust, ethical frames, risk management. If loan is denied, the customer deserves to know why. The black box dilemma, the core tensions. The more accurate the model, the harder it often is to explain. The trade-off sits at the heart of modern AI deployment in regulated industries. Why it can't be ignored. When an AI denies a loan, flags a transactions or predict default, someone must be able to answer why. Without that answers, the system fails regulators, customers, and the institutions itself. In an other word, we can say that uh, regarding the black box dilemma, more accuracy of it means less interpretability. But in finance, we cannot sacrifice explanation because every decisions must be justified, auditable, and defensible. Explainable AI in credit risk management. bring in interpretability to the model that determine financial assets. Interpretable models for credit risks. So traditional models, it includes logistic regression, scorecard are fully interpretable but sacrifice predictive power. Advanced model MLP and XGBoost deliver high accuracy but remain opaque, complicated compliance. We can say here interpretable model like logistic regressions are easy to explain but less powerful. Modern models like neural networks are accurate but opaque. Explainable AI help us bridge this gap. So we can say here interpretability include formula, scorecard, predictive power is given by say accuracy of the model. It include essential assemble models. In between this, we are having this explainable AIs. So what we can say here in interpretability, we should have fully transparent, low accuracy. But when we are having say high predicted power, it means high accuracy, low transparency. Explainable AI making sense of credit prediction. First of all, SAP. SAP means here safely additive explanation. It quantifies each feature's contribution to an individual's prediction using game theoretic principles. LIME local interpretable model. Agnostic explanation approximates complex model locally to explain single predictions in plain trade terms. PPD and PFI. PPD means partial dependence plots and permutations features importance deliver global insight into how features influence model behavior overall. So we can say here SAP shows features contribution, Lime explains individual predictions, partial dependence plot shows global features effect. These tools translate complex models into human understanding. Case study enhances credit risk assessment. Baseline model MLP classifier achieves 93.9993% accuracy on raw data. XAI integration, SAP and Lime identifies key drivers, good price, credit amounts and annual incomes. In another word, we can say that in real world, credit data sets includes a baseline accuracy, which is having say 93.9%. With XAI Insight, it has a 95.2%. More importantly, we know why predictions are made. Key factors include income, credit amount, goods practice, good prices. Clarify framework are two pipeline explainable AI frameworks. Clarify combine inherent interpretability via rule-fit models with post-hoc explanation via SAP and LIME applied to XGBoost, delivering the best of both worlds for credit risk. Accuracy is say 94.1% AUC ROC score, achieved by the XGBoost component to the Clarify pipeline. Top figures identifies depth to income ratios and credit visualization ranked as the highest impact predictors. counterfactual analysis, provide actionable what-if site for applicant enabling fairer decisions. So we can say here, consider the clarify. It combines interpretable model, post hoc explanation, and events provides counterfactual insights. What could the applicant change to get approvals? From complexity to clarity, complex model, neural networks, and assembles deliver state-of-the-art predictive performance but remain opaque without intervention. XAI layers shape, lime, PDP translate opaque outputs into human readable explanation at both local and global levels. Transparent decision institution gains accuracy and interpretability, satisfying regulators, auditors, and customers alike. We can say here explainable AI act as bridge, complex model, XAI layer, clear explanation. This allows institution to achieve accuracy and transparency together. XAI in fraud detection, interpretation technique for an ever evolving threat landscapes. Fraud landscape. So here, financial fraud is a massive global problem. Billions are lost every year. AI help detect fraud, but explanation are critical for action. So here, credit card fraud alone cost the global economy 33.5 billions, a figure that continue to rise. Traditional rule-based detection systems are increasingly cumulative as criminal tactics evolve. Machine learning closes the gap, but opacity remains a critical barrier to adoption and trust. So this evolution threat of financial fraud is very much huge. It caused global losses in 2022 $33.5 billions. In another word, we can say that financial fraud is a massive global problem. Billions are lost every year. AI help detect fraud, but explanations are critics for actions. Methodological challenges in explainable AI for fraud detections. Explainability imbalance paradox. Fraud datasets are highly imbalanced. Resampling technique is smooth undersampling, improve detection, but can distort sap and lime. Explanation undermining their reliability. Evaluation vacuum. 80% of XAI fraud studies use predictive metrics as a proxy for explanation quality. Never directly measures whether explanations are actually useful or faithful. Post hoc versus intrinsic interpretability, determining when post hoc explanations suffice versus when an inherently interpretable model is mandatory. So here key challenges, however, fraud detection introduces challenges such as imbalanced data, distorted explanation after resampling, lack of evaluation metrics for explanation. So accuracy alone is not enough. Detecting suspicious transaction with dual layer explainable AI. A dual layer framework combines intrinsic transparency interpretable base model with post hoc behavior explanation, SAP overlay covering both money laundering and fraud in a single system. F1 scores a 0.54 to 0.78, promising detection rates across both AML and fraud category. Unified risk view structures similarity between fraud and AML patterns. So we can say that one solution is dual layer explainable AI. Here interpretable based model, SAP based explanation. This create a complete and reliable fraud detection systems. Staging ensemble plus explainable AI, a high performance framework. Stacking assembles XGBoost plus LightGBM plus CAD combined for maximum predictive strength. Explainable AI techniques SAF for features selections, LIME, PDP, and PFI for individual and global explanation. IEEE CIS dataset 5,90,000 plus real world fraud record used for training, testing, and validations. So here 99% accuracy and 0.99 AUC and ROC. So here high accuracy and full interpretability are simultaneously achieved. Pinpoint the fraud, explainable AI in action. Features attribution. SAP values reveal which transaction attributes, timing, amount, merchant type drove each fraud flag. Investigator trust. Explainable outputs allow fraud analysis to validate challenges and act on model decisions with confidence. Regulatory defense. Documented explanation satisfy audit requirement and support legal defensibility of automated decisions. So we can say here explainable AI is now centered to compliance. System must provide global explanation, local explanations, consistency, interpretability. This is becoming a standard requirement. The futures of trustworthy AI in finance, from compliance necessary to competitive advantage, bridging the gap, explainable AI and regulatory standards. XAI is now cornerstones of um, responsible AI deployment in regulated finance environment. A five dimensions evaluation framework helps institutions assess the quality and sufficiency of their explanation. First, it includes inherent interpretability, global explanation, local explanation, consistency, and complexity management. Building a transparent financial futures. Explainable AI is no longer a luxury in finance, it is regulatory, ethics, and operations. Accuracy plus fairness, explainable AI enables institutions to maintain high predictive performance without sacrificing fairness and or accountability. Researchers' frontiers, explanations aware training, and robust evaluation method will define the next generation of trustworthy AI system. The path forward. The financial institutions that invest in explainable AI today will lead in compliance, customer trust, and resilient decision making tomorrow. So let's conclude here. AI must be explainable, decision must be justified, trust must be built because in finance, every decisions impact real life and livelihood. Explainable AI in law and policy, navigating opacity, ensuring fairness. The black box dilemma in legal AI. The rise of AI in critical sector. AI is no longer confined to lab. It is now embedded in finance, healthcare, criminal justice. These are high-stake domains where decisions affect human life. AI system now deeply embedded in across finance, healthcare, policies, and criminal justice sector, where decisions carry profound human consequences. The global AI market is projected to reach $2 trillion by 2030, with companies doubling their deployment of AI capabilities across natural language generation, computer visions, and predictive modelings. The black box problem are core concerns. Complex AI systems, especially deep learning models, can be opaque even to their own creators. This inscrutability poses fundamental challenges across three critical dimensions. Accountability: who is responsible when an opaque model causes harm? Ethics: hidden biases can embed discrimination into automated systems. Fairness: so here's the core issues. AI systems are often opaque even to their creator. This raises three serious concerns. Accountability: who is responsible? Ethics: are decisions biased? Fairness: can decisions be challenged? EU AI Act, a regulatory response to um, opacity. It is adopted in March 2024. The EU AI Act is the world's first comprehensive legal framework for artificial intelligence. It establishes a risk-based approach. The higher the risk, the stricter the obligation. High-risk systems in areas like law enforcement and critical infrastructure faces mandatory transparency, traceability, and human oversight requirement. Transparency, disclosing AI involvement to affected user. Traceability, login and audit trace for decisions process. Interpretability, understanding model logic and feature speed. Explainability, human readable rationale for specific output. One major response is EU AI Act. It introduces a risk-based approach. High-risk system must ensure transparency, traceability, interpretability, explainability. Regulation is catching up with technologies. Rethinking transparency beyond a single concepts. Transparency is not a monolithic concept. Regulators, technologies, and legal scholars often use the term loosely, conflating four distinct but interrelated dimensions. A robust regulatory taxonomy is essential to clarify their epistemic and normative roles, enabling more precise compliance and accountability frameworks. So here it includes explainability, So human readability region, interpretability, model understanding, traceability, the audit trail, transparency. So rethinking transparency, it includes knowing the data, understanding the model, explaining decisions. We need a structured way to define and regulate these aspects. Legal text analysis and interpretation with AI. AI rules in legal text analysis. So here document processing. AI can praise and synthesize vast corpora of statutes, regulations, and case laws in seconds, far beyond human capacity. Contract review. Automated system flag risky clauses, inconsistencies, and missing provision with high precision. Precedent discovery. AI surface relevant case laws and analogous judgment. We can say here AI is transforming legal practices. It can analyze document, review contract, find precedent, take that once 2 week now take second. The challenge of legal interpretations. But law is not just text, it involves ambiguity. Terms carry multiple meaning depending on context and purpose. Intent. Legislators' original purpose must be inferred, not assumed. So here's AI is transforming legal practices. It can analyze, document, review contract, find precedent. Tasks that once took week now take a second. So there is certain challenges, but law is not just text. It involves ambiguity, intent, precedent. Legal reasoning is complex, but often context dependent. This makes AI interpretation difficult. Bridging the gap, explainable AI and legal understanding. Explainable AI, XAI seeks to make models behavior intelligible to human, but a critical transparency gap persists. Explainable AI treats transparency as a technical end. Law treats it as a mean to protect right and enable accountability. Legal actors require explanation that connect specific models process to legally salient contestable outcomes. So here, explainable AI tries to bridge this gap, but there is mismatch. AI focus on technical transparency, law focus on accountability and right. We need explanation that legal system can use. Specificity in legal explanation. So generic model interpretability is insufficient for legal context. Court and regulators need targeted causal explanation, not wholesale visibility into models internal, but precise answer to question why was this specific decision made for this specific individual. From global to local, shift from explanation models behaviors on average to explainable individual outcome. Again from correlation to causation. A legal explanation, it includes articulates cause mechanism, not just statistical associates. From technicals to justifiable, explainables, AI output must be adapted into language and logic that court and tribunal can evaluate. Fairness and transparency. The need for fairness, AI can unintentionally amplify bias. Examples include credit scoring, hiring systems, predicting policies. Bias is a skills become system injustice. Transparency enables fairness. Transparency is the foundation of fairness. It allows us to detect bias, assign responsibility, build trust. Without transparency, fairness cannot exist. Challenges ahead. However, challenges remains. Explanation may lack accuracy. Uncertainty is often hidden. Training data is opaque. Regulatory compliance is complex. We are still evolving. From black box to clear path, our goal is clear. From opaque, uncontestable system to transparent, explainable, auditable AI. This is the central challenges in legal AI. Existing legal instrument, several framework already demand explainability. General Data Protection Regulation, right to explanation, fiduciary duties, obligation to inform clients, product liability, accountability from harm, EU AI Act comprehensive regulation. Explainability is becoming a legal requirement. Futures of regulations. The future is shifting from transparency to explanation. Why? Because full transparency is often too complex, too technical, not useful to not expert. Instead, we need selective explanations, comparative reasoning, interactive system. What should we do? Key lessons for legals and policy professionals. Understand different types of transparency. Demand meaningful case-specific explanation. Embed fairness into AI system from the start. Design AI for justice, not just performance. The futures of AI not just is not just technical; it is legal, ethical, social, and it requires collaboration between lawyers, engineers, policymakers. Only together can we build trustworthy AI. So let's remember AI decision must be explainable, fair, accountability. Because in law every decision affect right, just justice and society itself. That's all. Thank you.